Tensura X Coat. The God and the Genius by Tempest_Moon. Chapter 11 True Colors. Rimuru Pav. May 1st passed by like a wind. After the teacher revealed to the students about the truth of class points, everyone stopped talking while in class and being absent. But, there's still some who clearly does not understand or they just don't care. Looks like things are going to be fine now. If Harada keeps helping the class, then maybe we can still improve. Looking around the room while the teacher was discussing the lessons on the board, I can see that most of my classmates are attentive and paying close attention, which was kind of refreshing to be honest. Foo. This is much better. While I was letting my mind drift away, I remembered my last conversation with Chiyabashira. Seal. Tell me, do you think this class can ascend to Class A? I asked my most trusted partner about this subject. If we're talking about chances, then yes. With you on the class, it is a 100% possible to reach Class A. But without needing Master's aid, this class still have a great chance of success. That's true. Even if these students was called defects, this class still have some highly capable individuals besides Kyo. But the problem lays on motivation. Making myself as some sort of a leader can improve our chances, right? Yes. Although it would be totally unfair to the other classes, but Master is right. Unfair. Yeah, I can understand that. I have a supercomputer serving as my mind after all. Don't be like that. I'm not gonna abuse things, you know. And besides, it's not like I'm gonna stick to this class until graduation anyway. That is true. After all, if you gain 20 million points, you can transfer from a class that you want. Yeah, I know. That's a broken rule, isn't it? You can buy your way up to higher classes if you have enough points. This school is truly crazy with their rules. I only found out about this when Seal informed me out of nowhere when I was sitting around the class. It really surprised me at first, but judging by the weirdness of this school, I just didn't mind it. Master. Regarding about the topic discussed by that teacher, it seems like she's going all out on using him. Yeah, I'm totally aware of that. Now that she knows about the existence of a genius in her class, I'm hoping that she try manipulating him or something. I don't think that's possible. There's only a small chance of success in that, but it is still worth considering. Right. Who knows, maybe Chiyabashira might come up with something that will persuade Kyo. I see. So that's why you approached and told her about Ayana Coach. Yes. Involving the teacher on the fray would be much more fun. And besides, I'm testing on how far Kyo can manage himself with too much hurdles in his way. I don't think it would affect too much. The only problem he would have a hard time dealing with is Master. Is that so? Then I'm honored to hear that. I have Chiyabashira's full trust and there's no way that girl would pass up a chance that she's been longing for in quite a while. I heard her story from Seal which caught my interest on her. I can understand why she is cold when we first met her on our first day. Even teachers are competitive in this school, huh? Who do you think possesses the abilities to help Class D ascend, besides Kyo? I would say mostly everyone in this class can. There's few individuals with great leadership skills and some possess great physical talents. But sadly there's also some incompetent ones too. If that's the case, then my job would be encouraging them, huh? Yes. With Master's popularity and great social skills, everyone in this room will lend an ear for you. Yep. That's true. I've been working hard this first month getting friends of my own and it was a success. With this I have stabilized my position and gained a good information network to be used. Seal. How do you think we can convince Koenji on helping this class? That student possesses great potentials. He might be a little narcissistic, but his talents cannot be underestimated. I believe there's a way, but Master should probably hold it off for now. There's something interesting going on at this moment and you must watch it unfold. Interesting. I refocused my senses back to reality and heard Chiyabashira reprimand Kyo. We're at class, Ayana-koji. Stop making noises. Sorry, sensei. I got something on my eye. What's happening? I side-eyed my surroundings to see the students' reaction, but no one dared to look back at Kyo. They just continued their work without paying him any mind. They're that scared of losing points. Looks like Harada's effort is finally paying off. The teacher left after the lunchtime bell rang off. But before everyone could head towards the door, Harada spoke in front of the class. Sensei said that failure in the midterm exam can cause expulsion, so I'm planning on holding off and study group so that we can prepare for the exam. Everyone is allowed to join in. Everyone was paying attention to him and some students with a failing marks considered his offer. Starting today at 5 o'clock after school, I'd like everyone who are interested to attend the study group in this classroom. I noticed him looking at Pseudo for a moment and shifted his gaze towards me. Also, I would like Tempest-san to join too. It would help a lot if you come. I'm fine with that. Kushida-san, you don't mind it too, don't you? Passing the conversation to the unsuspecting Kushida, she looked at me confused for a moment. Well, I don't mind. I'm glad if I could help you, Tempest-san. Well, that settles it. Anyone who are interested, especially those with low marks, can join. I said as I ended the topic. Everyone left for lunch and I saw Kyo and Horikita heading out together. It made me curious but let it off for now. I feel like they're up to something. That certainly is correct. If that were the case, then I can assume that they're planning something. He's seriously trying to manipulating Horikita, huh? Well, I guess it is for the best. Yes. There's no problem in that regard. If Ayanokoji managed to control Horikita's action, then it can pose a great advantage for this class. Okay. When I was about to head out of the classroom, I was greeted by Hirata and K. Tempest-san, thank you about earlier. Yeah, there's no problem. I kinda want to help actually. While I was having a friendly chat with Hirata, I can see the annoyed look on Karuizawa's face. What's wrong, Karuizawa-san? Are you sick or something? No. I just want to head out quickly to the cafeteria. So please excuse us, Tempest-san. She grabbed Hirata's arms while crossing her eyebrows when looking at me. I'm sorry for that, Tempest-san. We're going to go now. Please excuse us. Hirata seems apologetic enough for her girlfriend's action. I can understand her actions, but I clearly stated from the very beginning that I have no interest in those. Well, I guess any girl would not feel comfortable seeing their boyfriend talk with other girls. I also left the classroom and heads towards the convenience store. I picked up couple of sandwiches and a can of coffee as my lunch and paid on the counter. My points are not looking bad. I still got more than 50,000 points on my name. While I was busy looking on my phone, I heard loud shouting outside the store. You think we're just going to let you go? Please, Ryuan, I'll make sure to buy it right next time. Couple students ganged up on one student who are clearly showing a frightened look on his face. Hey, what are you guys doing? You know that bullying is not allowed in this school, right? I said after I stepped outside of the store and confronted those guys. Hey, you're cute, so I suggest you back off, lady. Or do you want to be messed by us? The redhead showed me his disgusting smile, which was condescending enough to begin with. You wouldn't even dare. And besides, even if you tried, I'll kick your asses off. I have now their complete attention, and the guy they're beating up earlier sprinted out of the scene. You talk big, don't you? Even if you're a girl, I won't show you mercy. They circled around me while staring me down from top to bottom. And you think I will? Try me, kid. This made his smiling face morph into a scowl. Kid. She's truly as funny, isn't she? They all laughed at me for something which totally pissed me off. You're brave for standing in front of us, so I'll let this go. But let me make it sure, if I see you meddling with us again. He then grinned at me with a murderous look on his face. You'll wish you didn't enter this school. I didn't give any response and just left. But after I was almost at my classroom, I let out faint smile on my face. Foo. Looks like I found another person I can add to my plan. I wonder how your fight is going to be. I sat down at my chair while happily eating my food. I bet it's going to be legendary. Kiyotaka Pav. That was annoying. After taking a lunch with Horikita, she made demands from me which I find tiring to do. It's impossible for me to gather those guys for a group study when they don't care about it at all. She requested that I should invite Pseudo, Ike and Yamauchi for a group study so that we can avoid failure at any cost. But, the way she wanted it to work is an impossible task for me. I'm not really that sociable like her, so she must understand where I am getting into. But she just won't take no for an answer. I guess if I didn't eat the food she gave, then there would be no problem, but what she offered to me was too tempting that I even didn't consider to decline. And besides, she tricked me. If she just told me from the beginning, then I would have refused. She told me before that it was her treat, but it was far from the truth. It was already too late and I was at the point with no return, so I complied with her wishes. Hey Pseudo. Are you doing alright with your studies? Yeah, I guess. Pseudo, who I found sitting in his seat, looked at me confused. He's probably wondering why I approached him all of a sudden. Is that so? Well, actually, I'm planning on holding off a study group of my own and I want you to join in. He looked at me straight in the eyes while trying to find out my intentions. Don't look at me like that. I'm trying my best, you know. Ayano Koji-kun. Are you being serious right now? Yes. Did he think that I was joking or something? If I find the lesson in this class painful, then why do you think studying in a group is any better? And besides, your grades are not that good either. Well, there's reasons for that. But there's no way I'm gonna tell you. Horikita is helping me out, so I want you to be a part of it too. Horikita. I'll pass. Why? Why? Because you're just going to show off your girlfriend to me when we study. I told you before, we're not like that. Yeah. Say whatever you want, man. I'm probably better off cramming at last hour. So that's how it's going to be, huh? I stopped my approach to Sudo and turned my attention towards Aiku or close by. Pass. But I haven't said anything though. I heard you talking with Sudo. I'm not really interested in a study group. And besides, I can also cram the test with Sudo at the last hour, so there's no worries. These guys. They're something else, aren't they? While I was thinking of a reasonable solution, I've arrived on asking Rimuru for help. Now what should I do? Well, I guess at this time it's better to ask Rimuru about it. After class, when Horikita already left the classroom, I approached Rimuru's seat and asked her. Tempest-san. I need to speak with you. Kyokan. I thought I've already told you to call me by my nickname too. I'm sorry. I thought it was only okay to call you that in private. I guess that's true. Anyway, what do you need? It's rare for you to ask me something. I explained to her what my reason was and she is patiently listening to every words I say. That's the gist of it. So do you mind helping me a bit? No, not at all. But there's only one problem with that. She said as she placed his fingers on her chin. You see, we're also having a study group with Hirata later and he's already expecting me to go with him. Is that so? Then I apologize for wasting your time, Tempest-san. I was little bit disappointed, but what can I do? She's popular and it was probably hard to say no when you already promised to show up. Although, I could suggest someone to help you guys out. Huh, who would that be? Rimuru then called out to Kushida. Kushida-san. Do you have a moment? She approached Rimuru's seat while looking at both of us. What do you need, Tempest-san? You see, Kyo here is having a hard time, so do you mind helping him out? I'll explain to Hirata later, so you don't need to join us. I don't mind. If I can help someone out, then that's enough to make me happy. She then gave us both her angelic smile while clasping my hands. Let's work together, shall we? Ayano Koji-kun. Yeah, thanks. Time skip. When I was lying around my bed, I received a text message from Kushida. Aika-kun and Yamauchi-kun said that they'd love to join the group study. That's great news. What about Sudo? I'm still contacting him right now. I see. Thanks for your help, Kushida-san. You don't have to thank me. I'll do anything for a friend. After that, I went on a bath to relax myself. Wait a minute. Is this okay with Horikita? After the sudden thought, I got up from the bath and dried myself up with a blower. I then reached out to my phone and texted Horikita about the events that took place. Not soon after I changed into my normal clothes, I received a call coming from her. Hello. What's that all about? What do you mean? I just explained it, you didn't I? I was confused by her reaction on my message. I wrote it clear, so there's nothing wrong with it. That's not what I meant. Why is Kushida coming too? Oh, that. Tempest-san suggested it when I asked her help earlier. And I asked Tempest-san to help me, but unfortunately she's busy. She then recommended Kushida to help us instead. I don't like it. Is there any reason behind this? Why though? Having Kushida, who has great social skills, would make everything easier in the study group, doesn't it? I don't agree with it. She's won't budge, huh? Can you at least tell me why? I believe that's none of your business. Hold on a minute. The moment you dragged me on this is now my business. So I have the rights to know the reason why I should decline Kushida's help when you haven't helped me at all. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Did I say too much? The phone suddenly went quiet. It took a minute until I heard her voice again. You should have sought my approval first before asking her to join. Are you my boss? And besides, you forced me into this. So I can do whatever methods I got on my disposal at any cost. Why is she so against it? Fine. But don't let her join at the study group, okay? That's ridiculous. And why are you so against on letting her join? The more people means more time will be wasted. Kushida didn't fail or got a low mark on the mock test, right? So there's no point having her around the group. That's harsh, you know. I don't care. Good night. She hung up the phone after that. Is this what Chiabashira-sensei meant when she called us defective? I can now understand where Horikita's flaw takes place. Being academically smart are not the only thing required by this school. But Horikita still doesn't see that. I then decided to inform Kushida, so I called her immediately after hanging up with Horikita. Hello. There was a sound of blower on the other side of the line, which was not surprising to begin with. It's normal for student to take a bath after a long day at school. You're drying your hair or something. Oh, sorry about that. What's wrong, Ayano-koji-kun? Things got complicated, so can we pretend that we didn't have that conversation earlier? Why? Is this about Horikita? She's perceptive, isn't she? I'm sorry. I did try talking to her about it, but she just won't allow it. Is that so? Well, can't say that I haven't seen it coming. After all, Horikita doesn't like to be around me. Do you think you know the reason why? I don't know. But Ayano-koji-kun, do you think Horikita can manage those boys by herself? That's true. Horikita is a blunt person and she always speak what's on her mind even if it can hurt someone. This going to be bad. Yeah, that can be a problem. Did she tell you why she's against me? Number. She kept avoiding the subject when I asked. There must be a reason if Horikita is that insistent on rejecting Kushida to join. Because in my point of view, I can only see the merits of it. Ayano-koji-kun, I also want to join in this study group. Tempest-san gave me this responsibility and I'm not planning to let her down. So don't worry, I have a plan. She's such a good friend, isn't she? If she would go out of her way and try to prove to Rimuru that she can be entrusted with this types of task, then it would be no question that both of them will be a perfect team. If that's what you say so, I'll be counting on you. Time skip. Morning came and time just flew by like a wind. I informed Rimuru about what happened yesterday and she seems amused by it. She told me that her study group was a mess at first, but after some strict guidance, they were able to run smoothly. Horikita on the other hand seems to be displeased on letting Kushida join, but there's no helping that. We're here. I've brought everyone. After the afternoon class, Kushida, Ike, Yamauchi and Sudo arrived at the library where me and Horikita was already waiting. We only came because Kushida-san invited us, okay. Ike said while sitting on a chair. The others did the same and we began our group study. This is ridiculous. How is it possible that you've managed to enter this school if you can't do basic math? It was not even 30 minutes after we started opening our textbooks. Horikita is now grilling the boys to the bone. Here. Let me see that. That's not how you solve it. What the heck did you even learn in middle school? The boys was clearly annoyed by this treatment, and Sodu seems to be trying his best not to hit Horikita by accident. He can control his temper if he wants to. But I guess it won't last long if things continue like this. Horikita-san, that's not nice. Here, let me take a look at that. Kushida, who seems to be worried about the events that took place, calmly took Sudo's paper away from Horikita. Here, Sudokan, this is how you solve it. Thanks, Kushida-san. You're much nicer than her. The other two seems to agree with Sodu and I just silently observed them. I can be nicer if you are competent enough. But the way things are going, you guys won't even graduate in this school. Sudo then suddenly stood up and grabbed his bag. He took a glance towards Horikita and said, "That's it, I'm done. You guys can stick around with her if you want, but I'm going." Horikita then crossed her arms and snickered towards Sudo's action. You're giving up before you even got to the hard part. Looks like you're the quitter type, aren't you? If that's how it's going to be, then that only proves that even in basketball you don't have a future. Sudo, who was already agitated, approached Horikita's direction and grabbed her collar. I, on the other hand, stood up and placed my grip towards his outstretched hands with a calm face. Back off, Ayano-koji. This girl is pissing me off, and I'm having an ICHY feeling of molding her face, so get lost. We don't want to make things worse, right? Laying your hands on a girl would surely be your ticket out of here, Sudo. TCH. Thankfully he let go of Horikita's collar. Because if he tried to smack her face, then I'll be forced to pin him down on the ground, which was far too troublesome for me. Let's go, guys. We can study at the last hour. Forget about this girl, we don't need it. All of the boys stood up and followed Sudo's command. They didn't say anything else and just marched out of the place. Horikita-san, why would you do that? They are seriously trying their best, you know. Kushida, who is watching the whole thing, asked Horikita with a slight tears in her eyes. It's better this way. I can now conclude that there's no need for me to try and save them anymore. If they want to fail, then let them be. It's probably more beneficial for the class if those idiots are gone anyway. That's cruel. Don't you think it's much better if we help our friends out? Kushida timidly said as she looked down her table. I'm not like you, Kushida-san. I will not waste my time on such superficial thing like friendship. If you think that it's cruel to abandon someone who are clearly a burden, then this class can never reach Class A. Even so, I want to help my friends reach Class A. What a foolish thing to say. Even if that's what you think, I don't care. I have to go now. Tempest-san is looking for me. Kushida looked at her phone and ran off from the library. Only me and Horikita was left. Things didn't go as planned, huh? Horikita stood up and also started packing her things. It's your fault, you know. If you didn't brought Kushida along, then things would have been fine. After that, she stormed off out of the library, leaving me all alone. You're welcome, by the way, I said on the empty space as I also started packing my things. When I looked around, I found a notebook that belongs to Kushida. She forgot this when she ran off, huh? It was the materials to be reviewed for the midterm exams. I wondered if I should return it by morning, but thought that Kushida might need it tonight. So I decided to make a call. Ringing. She didn't answer my call. I thought that she might be busy or something, so I texted another person. Hello. Tempest-san, is Kushida with you? I texted her because I don't want people to get the wrong idea and starts a rumor about it. If she answered my call while in the middle of a study group, my peaceful life would be over by then. Number. I saw her just right now though. She passed by me in the hallway. I think she's headed towards our classroom or something. She's at the classroom, huh? Thanks, Tempest-san. I'll be going now. Sure, glad I could help. Is something wrong? It's complicated. I'll inform you later though. That's good. Well, see you around, Kyo. After our messages, I went straight towards our classroom in a fast pace. While heading there, students are already gone and went home, so the hallway was pretty empty and quiet. Before I even opened the door of our classroom, I heard a loud stomping of tables and a voice coming from inside. Ha! She's so annoying. The voice was unfamiliar at first, but I recognized it afterward. It was Kushida's voice, and it was far from what she usually uses. Horikita, you're so annoying. So annoying that I wish you should have been dead. There's still loud stomping inside. I decided that I must not get involved in this, so I changed my direction. But it was proven to be a mistake. Who's there? She said as she opened the door of our classroom. When she saw me, she dragged me inside and closed the door. I was leaning at the door while Kushida looked at me with her cold eyes. Did you hear? Would you believe me if I said no? Her gaze didn't change. It was far from the Kushida I knew about. It was like a completely different person. If you tell anyone, then I will not forgive you. And what if I did? I braced myself for her response. But what I heard destroyed all of my senses. I would tell everyone that you raped me, she said without showing any hesitation in her words. That's a lie, you know. It won't be anymore, she said as she placed my hands onto her chest. Her eyes didn't change and it was still as cold as ice. Stop it, Kushida. What are you doing? With this I have a proof that you raped me. I'm not joking around, Ayanokoji-kun, understand? Yes. Please let go of my hands. She stepped back from me, and while I was figuring out what to do. If you betray me, I'll send this uniform to the police, you know. I understand. With such tension on the air, someone clapped, which caught both of us off guard. Fu. That was an entertaining performance, Kushida-san. I heard Rimaru's voice outside the room, and it was quite a relief, to be honest. She entered the room while having a smile on her face. Kushida, on the other hand, contorted her face into annoyance as she looked towards Rimaru. I was a little bit disappointed because I didn't hear what she said first, but I guess this is enough. When she said that, she pressed a play button from a recorder she was holding. I would tell everyone that you raped me. That's a lie, you know. It won't be anymore. Stop it, Kushida. What are you doing? With this I have a proof that you raped me. I'm not joking around, Ayanokoji-kun, understand? Yes. Please let go of my hands. Kushida's face was morphed into a face of horror. Her mouth was wide open as well as her eyes. That was something else, isn't it? Kushida-san. Rimaru was clearly enjoying this as her grin got only wider as she looked towards Kushida. TCH. Give me that tape before I hurt you, Tempest-san. Is that a threat? Kushida was seething in anger and I moved my distance from her. I'm merciful, you know. I don't want to destroy your pretty face, Tempest-san. So would you be so kind as to give that to me? She was already clenching her fist, but Rimuru was still looking nonchalantly about the situation she's in. I wonder who would win in a fight between those two. You're funny, Kushida. Very well, I'll gladly delete this tape if you do me one little favor. And what's that? Rimuru's golden eyes shone brighter than before, which indicates how she was having a good time about this whole ordeal. Tell me. What is your story, Kushida-san? I tried to hide my past from anyone and you think I would just expose myself for you? Well, I guess that's true. Anyways, I'll keep this tape for a while and maybe create a few copies of it if I got the time. I said delete it. No can do. I can't have you threatening my friend like that, can I? Rimuru looked at me for a second but changed her gaze towards Kushida. So I am her friend. Can I trust that? Probably not, right? Kushida launched herself towards Rimuru while trying to grab the recorder out from her hands. You're a feisty one, aren't you? Rimuru was dodging her onslaught with a carefree expression on her face, while Kushida was trying her best to grab Rimuru's arms. Ha. 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 I'll get that eventually. Really? Well, that would take some time, wouldn't it? I don't care. You don't. That's funny because so am I. We can do this forever if you want, Kushida, but the truth was already out, you know. Mind letting me spread it around? Why are you going against me, Tempest-san? She then chuckled while sitting at the tabletop. That's a weird question to ask when we're not allies to begin with. Am I wrong, Kushida? You're not so angelic yourself, aren't you? You may be posse's a beautiful face, but your attitude is similar to a demon. With this, Rimuru burst into laughter which put me unease. Kwahaha. Am I now? I'll take that as a compliment. TCH. This is bad for her, huh? Rimuru is not showing any mercy at her, which was also not surprising. Rimuru then calmed down and looked at Kushida. You see, I've been curious about you ever since day one, you know. Your actions was too familiar to me that I can't help but be amused. I've encountered similar people like yourself, you know. What do you mean? It's simple. People who hides their true colors from others are said to be the most dangerous. But you're unlucky because someone already found you out. So what are you going to do about it? TCH. This is not over yet. I'll make sure you'll regret messing with me. Both of you along with that hag will pay. She stormed off the classroom while I was watching the things unfold. That was lovely, isn't it? Look at this, I've recorded all of her outbursts earlier. She said as she played the recordings on her device. There was threats coming from Kushida in the recordings and other stuff. It was enough to counter Kushida's claim earlier, which I was thankful for. Thanks for that, Tempest-san. But how did you know that I was here? You texted me earlier, right? I got curious, so I also went to this place. I see. Thank you. Well, no biggies. Shall we head to our dorms together, Kyo? Sure.